I ran the marathon for Homes for Our Troops probably 5 years ago now. And I was just so touched by one quote that Travis Wood made. And I go, what do you miss most? Do you miss, duck hunting? Do you miss, the opportunity to, run the marathon versus being in the wheelchair? He goes, oh no, the thing that I miss most is fighting for my country. And I was so overwhelmed by that response, because that's not what I thought. I thought it would be duck hunting or something like that, or just being able to participate at leisure, versus hopping in and out of a chair, or some of the other obstacles they have to overcome with. So I was impressed with the organization. I have a very strong military connection. My father served in the Navy for 30 years. My mother's a Marine. I have brothers-in-laws who served in Vietnam and Iraq, and so I've seen the sacrifices they've made, and this was a good way for me to honor what they've done.
And how successful has the program been?
I think it's been successful in many ways, and I tell everyone on our committee, we focus on the cause, and the money and the contributions just take care of themselves. I mean, like last year, for example, when Josh Bouchard's mother and father came off the bus, and they saw 2,000 people, big American flags, all this for their son. If we made no money, it would be worth it, just to show what we were doing for their son.
And that is what's important about it, isn't it? I mean, that's why I know we wanted to help support it and get involved, is that it's not just about raising money, it's about demonstrating that support.
We're trying to show gratitude for those who are going to serve, and those who are serving, and those who have served. So we actually seize upon this event to call up all the vets, ROTC students down at BU. They come up, and we honor them as part of the ceremony, because it's a great opportunity, and they love the recognition, because especially the Vietnam vets. I'm very sensitive to that, because my brother-in-law was a Vietnam vet, and he still has some issues with that, and some of these vets have never gotten thanked in a way I think they should. So we'll have a very elaborate ceremony will be better than last year this year, and we're working on that with a company who loves the idea. So we're having a tent for the vets ahead of time. We're going to do this special ceremony, bagpipes, color guard, the whole shooting works, and up on flatbed trucks. And I think we can't thank them enough. So this is, we could thank them every day, and it wouldn't be enough. So
when is the race scheduled for?
Well, the race is always the first Sunday and first weekend in April, and we like that because it's like 2 weeks before the Boston Marathon usually. So that's when it always is, and it's good because the people are tired of hibernating, and so it's like the first major event as far as running and walking go in the area. It's a good fit, so it's like I said, it's always the first Sunday that weekend in April.
We're here in Andover.
Yeah, right across the street. Yeah, so in that way it gives the soldiers and some of the volunteers who come from out of the area a chance to come and enjoy the dinner, and for those who can't make one or the other, it gives them an option, and it kind of ties in the whole weekend. So it's a real good fit, and and both of them are very affordable, and it's a good dinner, and we'll have several guest speakers. In fact, Brad Campbell, who was the general contractor for Josh's house out in Granby last year, is going to come and speak, because the entire house was built either through materials being donated or local fundraisers like this, and people donating their time. And I was out there for the key ceremony on January 12th, and it was just, everyone was just thrilled to be there, and so it was great.
And let's talk a little bit about that specifically, the funds and the resources and the donations that are received. How does that support our returning veterans?
Well, they build these houses that are specially adapted to the wheelchair situation. And they're not like extreme makeover houses by any means, which I was happy to see, because sometimes, these charities and these can go over the top. But this was a very basic house. Everything was really accessible for them. And a lot of the times they contact, I'm not that familiar exactly the details on how to build the house, but a general contractor comes forward, and he just calls upon his buddies and his favorites. The plumbers are there, the electricians are there, and they just, it all happens. It's an amazing, and they have several of these going on all the time.
So even though the race and the dinner take place in April, really you're gathering donations throughout the year for services and goods and volunteer efforts and the like.
Yeah, we're focusing on Kevin Du Bois, whose house will be built in Coventry, Rhode Island, which is really neat because, you know, people can go down there and see the house being built and everything. And I grew up kind of in North Kingstown, Rhode Island, so it's somewhat, you know, I drive down there a lot to see my mother, so I've actually already been to Coventry a couple of times and talked to some folks down there, and hopefully they'll come up like Josh's hometown did last year.
If people want to donate either goods or services, money, or participate in the Race of the Walk, or come to dinner at the Wyndham in Andover, how would they contact
Well, we have a
your
website where all the information's on there. It's runforthetroops5k.com. All the information's on there. We do everything online there. There's actually photos and videos of the races from previous years, and it's easy to do. If you can't make either one and you still like to donate, there's a donate page on there also. So, and you can learn more about the event, and you know, Colonel Scott Brown this year is coming back out again, and so.
I saw that last year. A number of our students are veterans. A number of our professors participate as well in it. And it's a great picture of the senator with various staff and students from here. And they were very proud to be able to be there with him on that day as well.
And plus we got some exciting things to do again this year. We're doing camouflage shirts, which really drives home it's about the troops. But you can't really do it without the seed money from the sponsors, and Massachusetts School of Law has been outstanding since day one.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, a leader of reform in legal education and a leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.